Hello, everybody. It's episode 41 of the Two Old Gamers podcast, and we're back on Zoom.
Yeah, because we thought the normal podcast was boring.
Well, yeah.
2 hours of monotonous crap. But I suppose if someone's at, I don't know, in a mental institute, in a padded cell, they've got nothing else to listen to, I suppose it'd be all right. But, you know.
I think that's our target audience, though, isn't it?
That's why we don't get any comment.
Deeply disturbed people,
Yeah.
who have nothing else better to do.
Yeah. So we're all trying to look cool with different hats today, aren't we, Mark? You're wearing yours like you were like a teenager, backwards, and look like a couple of American truckers.
I'm now really conscious about wearing my hat. I don't know why it is. Everyone says, "Oh, why'd you wear your hat backwards?" I don't know. I've always worn my hat backwards.
You've always been retarded.
Yeah, but I don't get a sunburnt neck. So who's laughing now?
But you get a sunburnt face.
Yeah, it's a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah. See, that logic didn't last very long, did it?
No, that's because I went for my lockdown holiday around Yorkshire.
Yeah, I can't lean forward too much because at the moment I've got a leak in my roof in the man cave conservatory.
Yeah, well, I've got thunder outside, so it's like, what's the date today? It's the 13th of August, so it's like thunder and lightning outside. At any minute, my wife could come running and say, "You need to stop because the garage is flooded." So we,
yeah.
It's one of those days.
Okay. Let's sort of mix it up.
So where have we been? Where have we been? What are you up to?
What? Physically, I've not been anywhere.
No, I know that.
But what have I been playing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or do you want to mix it up?
Really, I got into Mass Effect on the PC, and I played through 1, number 2, carried all. I actually cheated because I think Rex died in my first playthrough of Mass Effect, so I got used to the keyboard and mouse thing, the WASD controls, and I did the interactive comic book at the start of 2, so Rex actually lived because I liked him, and I wanted him to be in 3.
Yeah.
And then what happened was I got right to the end of the third game, which was brilliant, and sorry, I've got a bit of a headache at the moment as well. Maybe it's probably this hat.
You played the third one?
I
thought you were going to sort of like not play the third one until...
Yeah, I know, I changed my mind. So then what I did, I got to this point and I thought, hold on a minute, there's a thing called galactic readiness. And it was always at 50%, no matter how many planets I went round and explored and all this sort of stuff. And I thought, what's that all about? And I read up and I suddenly remembered, that's because they made you play the multiplayer, which was very good, which is a bit like, not a sort of a horde mode. It was very good that you'd start a mission in a base and there'd be objectives and they'd throw enemies at you. It's all co-op. Right, so you just co-op with randoms, and all it is kill the bad guys.
Yeah,
and it worked really well, and it was a cracking actually little multiplayer add-on. And you got to play that X number of times in order to get that would improve your galactic readiness from 50 to 100. Now the whole point of this is that you only get the best ending, in quotes, of the trilogy if you get your galactic readiness up to 100.
Right.
Now I went to find an online game and I couldn't find one.
No, I'm not surprised.
So, yeah, which is fair enough. But I thought, oh, for God's sake. So I thought to myself, you know what? That's really pissed me off. I might finish it off. But then what happened was Ghost of Tsushima came out.
Well, yeah. And that surprised everybody.
Initially, I only played it because it's quite I found it quite a chill experience, sort of interspersed with really, I'm going to take his hat off, it's making my head ache, interspersed with lots of violence, ultra violence. And I
really
didn't really,
stylized.
yeah, I didn't. I mean, I'll let you talk about it, the actual game, but just my experience was that I didn't really do much. And then, because I wasn't really, because of the heat and everything, and working from home and stuff like that, I just wasn't in a gaming mood really. So, but then it sort of I started to gel with the combat, got a few stances unlocked, and then that really unlocked the tactical way of they create the combat.
Yeah.
So then what I did, there's 3 main areas in the game, and if you just follow the storyline, then you'll unlock all the areas. But what I did, I do what I normally do, is I get to a certain point and then I just literally clear everything I can, side missions, and so that my character is leveled up or a bit more OP. So when I jump into the next section or the end section of that first level, my character is well hard, you know. And then from there it was just like I just kept playing it, and then last week I think when you're on holiday I actually got the platinum on it. So I spent a lot of time. There were a couple of issues with some of the trophies. One of them I'd never have a clue what it was about. There's one where what I'd done, I'd cleared all of the sort of, what do you call, outposts, for want of a better word, because I do think the game is very Far Cry actually in terms of its gameplay sort of structure, which is good because I love Far Cry. One of them was to kick someone or knock someone off a high ledge, an enemy off a high ledge, so they die by the time they fall off, because sometimes they'll fall off and they're not dead. So I had to do a bit of YouTubing for that one. Another one was
because that's locked behind one particular stance, isn't it? The kick movement.
Well, you need to choose the right stance to do like a shoving maneuver, but you need to take his health down before you do the final kick or what, and kick him off the ledge. But the trouble was, because I cleared all of the areas where you could get them and they'd follow you up on a roof somewhere, make it easy. I cleared everything. So then all you get are roaming, you know, like the roaming dudes that have got like a prisoner or something with them.
Yeah,
you just get them roaming. So then I have to find a place where I think I could get them to chase me, because they'll only chase you so far. And then once I found that place, I then had to execute all the right moves to get the trophy. But I did it. So, and the other one, there's one where you have to dress up like Sly Cooper. So there's a certain material list of the type of sword, the type of dye, the type of armor, and all this sort of stuff. And it's sort of meant to make you look like Sly Cooper, which I don't really know anything about. That was a weird trophy. It's called something like dress up as the greatest thief or something.
Yeah.
And the only other trophy that I had a bit of bother with, because all the rest was fine, was there's a thing called hidden shrines, and I didn't realise this, but I found these things, but I didn't know what to do. It's like a picture of someone bowing, like on a piece of wood next to some weird place. But I didn't realise to bow, you have to swipe down on the D-pad. Not the D-pad, the touchpad. Yeah?
Yeah.
So you have to do 10 of those. Apparently there are 16 of them. So that was the last thing, and then that got the platinum. But the reason I went for the platinum, because I loved the game so much. It was absolutely fantastic.
I think it's very... Sorry.
It had some brilliant boss fights in it, which you know, really, I mean, I played on normal difficulty, and because I'd tried to max out everything as I'd gone before I did a lot of these battles, then obviously your health bar is a bit longer and all that sort of stuff, and you got more, you know, abilities, but they still made the boss battles quite tricky, and I literally only some of them by the skin of my teeth. Oh, your cat's there.
Yeah, Daisy decided to visit. But
looks like your old cat Max, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's spitting image. Off you go.
Yeah. But I think that the Metacritic for Ghost of the user score Tsushima is something like 93.
Yeah, I think it's
one
like
of the highest
93,
rated.
96.
It's one of the highest rated games ever for the number of people that have rated it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sold out in Japan, and I'll let you tell people about the Yakuza director connection, what he said about it. But so yeah, fucking brilliant. My game of the year.
I think
so far.
For me, I mean, so I got into this quite a lot, and I'm halfway through a playthrough of The Last of Us Part 2. I've not finished it.
No, I haven't touched that yet.
I'm on the controversial bit that people don't like, but that's the second half of the game. But Ghost came out, and I thought I do need to just plow on with Last of Us. But then you guys all sort of like jumped on it, and I thought it actually does look really good, and I do like it's quite interesting. Jumped on it, bought it home, installed it, and then spent the next week just solidly playing this. And getting,
because I was behind everybody, which is very unusual, isn't it, normally?
But I'm getting absolutely nowhere because I'm not doing story missions. I'm literally just enjoying the world that they've created. It is, bearing in mind that you've got this technical masterpiece, which is The Last of Us Part 2, which is graphics and detail to an insane level, and it's unbelievable. Then the next game that Sony put out is this Ghost of Tsushima, and this is the best looking game on the PlayStation because the world is just incredible, and they've kind of done something which I've not seen before, which is the photo mode is
it's great, isn't it?
The ability.
I even did some photos. Did you see?
Yeah, and it's like, bloody hell, if you've done photo mode, it must be good.
Yeah.
Because they've done it in a way that you can do sort of like animated ones, but also...
Yeah, I stupidly couldn't work out how to save those, but basically you just get rid of the menu, press play, and then just press the share button, and then you edit just that tiny bit, don't you?
Yeah, and it's like, it's just beautifully designed for a Western game, for a Western developer to nail a Japanese game. And that's what we were talking about earlier, is that the director of Yakuza came forward and said that is steeped praise on this game for getting it, how well they've respected the source material. They've kept it almost like, they've kept the Japanese element to it. They haven't westernized it at all. The also thing about this as well, and the thing that I'm actually looking forward to is actually playing the game through to the end, and I'm still on Act 1 of 3 acts, but playing the game through again in Kurosawa mode, which is essentially a highly stylized black and white film grain version of the main game.
I was thinking of playing it through again at some point as well, definitely.
It's epic. The epic nature of the combat, the one-on-one duels, the boss battles, essentially, the way they set those up with the the zooming in on each character, and then you sort of like flick your sword out with your farm, and
it's like a gunfight.
Just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. They've nailed with this game essentially the Western the Western influence as well, because Red Dead Redemption doesn't get anywhere close to this kind of level of cinematography. The pure cinema element of it all.
Oh, leaning back, looks like I've got a pair of boobs.
But I mean, our friend Paul said, don't rush the story missions. Explore and do side stuff. And that's what I've been doing. I think if I look at my menu screen right now, I
told him that. I said to him, like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I would do a lot of side content all the time in an area and clear an area sort of out,
Yeah.
But
if you look at it here,
the game was not uber populated.
I've still got to recruit the Straw Hat Ronin and forge a tool to climb the walls of Castle Canada. So it's like, and I've still got loads to do in the first area. I haven't even touched the other two areas. And I know from seeing YouTube videos and things like that, there's obviously a snow region as well, and
that's the top region, yeah.
But yeah, it's just it's such an amazing.
It's sublime. Game. The combat is just, which is the meat and potato of the game, is just perfect. I mean, I'm not a Dark Soulsy sort of person. I'm glad that they didn't make it that difficult. Although I did say to Paul, my gameplay was mainly calling them out and going in all samurai swords blazing.
But that's the thing. That's
one and a half or 1 3/4 of the game of the area, but then the standoffs get really difficult. You know, when you turn a standoff and you got to, because they're fainting all the time, and then they just I don't know whether I was just tired, but my timing was really bad, and I was finding that you lose a ton of your health doing that.
And that's the beautiful thing about the whole combat system is it's all about timing. You know, it's not about essentially it's which is essentially what the samurai fighting style was all about. You know, it's about quick strokes timed perfectly to do maximum damage.
And so my gameplay went to more like a stealth orientated build, if you like, later on in the game. And I started, and there's another reason for that. Something happens towards, once you get near the end of the second act, you actually get another ability, which I'll let you explore for yourself.
Okay.
But when you become the ghost, so once that happened, I then was going in and using all of the gadgets that you get by the time you've got there. And then my gameplay, because like doing an Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Origins, just literally going around an entire fort, murdering everyone on the quiet, and then just literally just completing the, even in Far Cry you do the same thing, which, and as I say, I think it's got more in common with a Far Cry game than it has an Assassin's Creed game.
But this is the thing as well, is that this is the comparisons that you need to be making. Is that this is, oh my god.
Yeah, I just saw a bit of flash of thunder.
Well, that was
lightning.
Really...
It hasn't hit me yet, so it must be nearer you than me.
That's quite bad, actually. It was just
taking its time. It hasn't even thundered here yet.
It's this important to compare this game to Ubisoft games, in particular the Assassin's Creed series, because this is what this is. If one of Sony's first-party developers has essentially taken on the Assassin's Creed, story, genre. Essentially, and years and years we were saying about, oh, what's the next Assassin's Creed? It's got to be samurais. It's got to be samurais.
Yeah.
And they went Vikings. Did they know that this was on the cards? But
I bet you they're working on a samurai one now, and may have been working on it for another year or something. I bet they have. I bet that was where they're going to go next.
This is more. Everything about this game ups the ante on Assassin's Creed. The combat, the open world, the way you traverse the open world, everything about it is slightly better than Assassin's Creed. This is what you would expect from a Sony first-party title. But now, with this game coming out, how do I feel about Valhalla? And
I'm getting it.
I don't know. It's like...
Well, there's a lot more in Valhalla, I think. Like building your village up. And I've seen other footage of the game, and I think it's if you like that sort of game, I think Valhalla will still. I
think it's very interesting. Sorry?
Sheep. Danny? What moves? Jesus.
I think it's interesting.
Camera angles can make you look really fat and all the rest of it. It's like
that's why I put my feet down really low. This time.
That's why I'm gonna.
I'm more chesty. Also, I've just been on holiday, so I've not exactly done well.
Oh shit! The camera just went for a burn then.
What is going on?
Sorry, we have a technical problem.
I love the fact that you started us before we started recording. You said, I've moved my camera to be more closer so I can be more professional like you. You've just thrown it across the room.
Yeah. Well, okay, so it's a 10 out of 10 game for me. I know it's got some foibles, go inside a room, but no game is going to, well, there will be a game that will be ultra perfect, but then there'll only be one game that's got a score of 10. So I think you just need to say, compared to other games that are available, how good is it? And I'll say that's a 10 out of 10 top game of the year for me.
I think Sony saying goodbye to the PlayStation 4 is going out with a bang. You know, this is Last of Us Part 2 followed by this. It's insane. It's insanely good.
I need to play that.
But also, I think I can't remember where it was. Somewhere I think it was Jim Sterling's podcast. Somebody said on that is that you're playing this game, and this feels like this Ghost of Tsushima and The Last of Us Part 2. This suddenly starts feeling like this doesn't feel like the end of this generation. It feels like, oh, we've just started getting to the good stuff of this generation, and we're moving on. You know, don't forget the last generation lasted.
Well, that always happens.
But yeah, it's just sort of but
well, don't forget you'll probably be able to play Ghost of Tsushima with a free patch on a PS5, and they could add ray tracing.
Oh yeah.
You know. Yeah. Because there's a lot of, I mean, there's so many nice touches in it. Like, I didn't realise it, but the more you go down the ghost path, the more the weather gets thunder and lightning and grim and dark.
Oh, really? I also didn't realise about the flute.
The flute can clear the weather.
You can do
depending on, or give you the weather according to what tune you play.
What's that? Wind Waker, isn't it? Playing a tune to change the weather and everything.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people. I mean, in a way, that what they've done is sort of they've taken elements that have been used that have worked very successfully, that are good, but they've cherry picked, and then they've added their own little bit with the wind, where you swipe on the touchpad, and the wind is your compass rather than checking a map all the time. Because that promotes exploration and just wandering around and running into stuff. Yeah, and that's why I found it a very chill game. Plus, it looks beautiful with all the actual, you know, the landscapes that they've created. I think that it's top notch. They've done a fantastic job, and if they don't really, I'm actually sort of waiting for a new game plus mode, really.
Well, they haven't they just
where you
done
keep
a
all of
patch?
your abilities and everything, huh?
They're doing a patch, aren't they? Oh no,
Well,
that's the Last of Us Part 2's just got a hard patch as well. But
yeah, they're going to add multiplayer as well, apparently.
I'm not sure if they're doing a director's commentary patch.
Right.
Well, oh, we've just been upgraded to unlimited minutes on our meeting, by the way.
How come?
Don't know. Just because we're amazing. They obviously Zoom are
did it. You did it. You did it.
Zoom are listening to us, and they obviously appreciate what we're saying about Ghost.
No, you probably just you did something, didn't you?
No. I just got.
You said the host did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're the host.
I know, but I just got a thing set
up. I can tell when you're lying.
I'm not. I didn't do anything. We've got unlimited minutes.
Well, whatever. Who gives a shit, right?
So what else?
So, nothing. I've literally. It was Mass Effect and 3. I mean, that's quite a lot. And Ghost of Tsushima. That's what I've been playing. So, what have you been doing?
Well, I went on holiday, so I had to take the trusty Switch with me. And I thought, I can't just. Oh, sorry. She's scared because of the storm. I couldn't just take Animal Crossing away with me. I thought I might need to buy a couple games to take away.
Yeah.
So I bought Assassin's Creed 3 remastered.
It's a bit clunky, isn't it?
Going from Ghost of Tsushima to Assassin's Creed 3 is a little bit of a culture shock.
Well, Assassin's Creed 3 doesn't even get going until about 10 hours into the game.
Well, I haven't. I'm still Edward. No, I'm not. Not Edward. Haytham. I'm still Haytham.
Oh, Christ, it takes ages to do that.
And he hasn't got her pregnant yet, and there's no baby on the way, so I've still got a way to go on that.
Number 4 is much better on.
But
the Black Flag is better on Switch.
The
Black
one
Flag on Switch is great.
I do want to get that because that's like Black Flag and Rogue, isn't it?
Yeah, Rogue's good. I've finished
but
Rogue.
Again, I can't knock it because I got it in the sale for £11. So that's Assassin's Creed 3 and also
all the other stuff.
Assassin's Creed Liberation, which is the one I played on Vita and is actually a really good game. That was the first Assassin's Creed game to try something different, where the main character has different dresses. She can dress like an assassin.
Is he a male character?
No, it's a woman. So she can dress as an assassin, dress as a noble lady, or dress as a slave girl, and that allows you to do different things.
Slut, or?
Sorry?
Does she dress as a slut?
No.
Okay.
But I say the other game I got on the Switch, and I think you've got it, and but I think it's on your list of not been played yet. I bought The Tourist.
Oh, that looks good, doesn't it?
It is really good. I've not got too far into it because I bought it fairly late on last week.
Really nice graphics.
It's just really. I think it was the fact that it's just come out on Xbox and PC. And Digital Foundry did another video on it, and I just literally went back to it and thought, I've never actually. I was going to buy it. Oh, it's on the sale. It's only £12. So I picked that up, and it's just a really good game. It's got a nice feel to it. A nice. Sorry.
Lots of puzzles.
Lots of puzzles. Some of them bloody annoying, and just this sort of like nice. Yeah, just it's got a vibe to it that I really like. The graphics, very blocky Minecrafty graphics, pixel graphics.
Yeah.
But with nice lighting and everything, it looks really, really clever. It's really nice. It's got a depth of field effect going on as well. It's a really good game. I would recommend it to anyone picking it up on whatever platform you can get it on.
I have bought 2 games recently though.
Oh,
they're on Steam.
Ah.
Now, one of them is the one with the big blob that eats everybody up. Carrion.
See, so that's what I was going to buy on my Switch to go away with, and then I heard it's about 6 hours long, and I thought, do I really want to spend 18 quid on a 6-hour game? Well, I'll wait for it in the sale. What's it like?
It's cheaper for me on. I haven't played it.
No, God.
Also, I haven't played, but I did buy it today for £5. Jeff Minter's brought out a new game, and you probably haven't guessed it, but Mark's walked off again, so I've got to pretend that he's still there. But
no. See, because on the recording screen, I just left it as you, so you just ruined the illusion. I just had to check the water level.
Yeah, I like ruining the illusion. Hold on, what's going on here? I need to work out what I'm doing here. How do I get my screen up?
Press on the video screen. There's
exit full screen. That's better. Here we go. Right. So the other one, it's called Moose Life, and I thought it was really good. If you do a YouTube search, mate, and find Moose Life, it was only £5 on Steam.
Okay.
See if you can bring that up on the screen.
Right. The thing that I said might happen has just happened.
What's that?
My garage is just flooded, so I need to go and sort it out.
Flooded?
Yeah, it floods sometimes.
Oh, that's because it drops down into the garage, doesn't it?
Yeah. So it's now
What
full
is
of
it? Did you
water.
drain in
Just
for the
rain.
flows?
Yeah, and the drain can't cope and it floods in. So I need to start going
Right.
sweeping out my garage.
So we'll pick up this podcast maybe tomorrow night or something again.
Yeah. Okay. All right, mate. I'll speak to you later.
Yeah. Ta-da.
Bye.